Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Zoe if you're new here. Today I am going to be filming a kind of a reading wrap up. I can't remember the last time I filmed one, maybe was it July? Maybe it was July that I filmed the last one. But this time I'm going to be doing it with Pinterest Shuffles. If you don't know, Pinterest Shuffles is like an app that is made by Pinterest, I guess, and you can make like collages and stuff on it. And if you know me, I am a Pinterest girly through and through. I've had the same Pinterest boards going since I was like 13 probably, and I love Pinterest, so this was like ideal for me when this app came out. It was, and I think still is, by invite only, and so like when you join you get a code and you can give the code to other people. I was searching for one so hard, trying to get onto it, and it took me so long, but eventually one of my friends gave me one. Lily, if you're watching this, thank you, I love you. And then I gave my code to some of my friends. So if you can manage to get one, or if it eventually ends up being non-invite, like you can just join, I would highly recommend. I love it. But yeah, I thought I would do like little Pinterest shuffles of like the vibes. You know those TikTok videos that are like making you read this book based on the aesthetic, and it like will do all these Pinterest photos? That's kind of the inspiration for this, but I'm gonna go show you a Pinterest shuffle for each of the books I've read. I'm sorry about the shadows, but the weather is so great and it's gonna be great all week, so I'm just working with what I've got. I've got so many lights behind the camera trying to make it not dark in here. So first up, I think this is just going straight off the back of my last reading wrap up. So this should be everything I've read. I've not read as much as I wanted to because I've had uni and everything and it's just been a bit busy, so I didn't get around to reading as much as I'd like to. But I have got through a few. First up we have Song of Achilles, which I bought the beautiful, it is stunning, look with the lights on it. I think this is 10th edition, 10th anniversary edition. Yes, 10th anniversary special edition cover, because this is the only cover of this book I like, but I wanted the hard copy real bad, so I got this one. I think, did I speak about it in another, I think in my last reading wrap up I said I got it from QBE Books for $30, I think, 30 Australian dollars, which the only way I could find it otherwise online was 50 Australian dollars. So QBD Books, if you are in Australia and you want this copy. I was really excited to read this. I'd heard so many good things. I watch Steph's videos, if you know who I'm talking about, you know. I watch Steph's videos all the time, and this is one of her favourite books. She literally has tattoos dedicated to it. So I was expecting big things. I don't like going into reading with expectations because inevitably I am disappointed. And this one, it wasn't bad. It was actually quite good, but I just didn't like get the hype as much as people like were talking about it, and like I did really like it, but I just didn't love it like people do. So I gave it, I think, 4 stars, which, no, it's not bad. I find the book ranking system of like 5 stars really restrictive. I feel like I need like in between, I feel like I need 10 stars to properly rank it. If it was 10, I'd probably give this one like a 7.5. Like, I did really like it, but it wasn't my favourite. Didn't quite live up to the hype. Very quotable though, it has lots of good quotes in it. And then the Pinterest shuffle I made, I'll put here. It's very, if you don't know, it's like based on the Greek mythology of Achilles, and he is in love with, it's not from Achilles' point of view, it's from the other boy's point of view. It is an LGBT romance, I guess, set in Greek mythology, of Achilles and another boy, and they grow up together, and it's kind of their love over their lifetimes, I guess, which is really sweet. But yeah, it's big Greek mythology vibes, LGBTQ, which I love a good LGBTQ book. I've realised. I don't know why, but all the ones I've read are really well written. My favourite book of all time is Red, White and Royal Blue, which obviously is two guys, and then I love Heartstopper. I liked this. 4 stars. It was good. What didn't quite live up to the hype. Would I get a tattoo of it? No, probably not. Next I had The Second We Met, which I read on my trusty Kindle, I think. Yes, I read on my Kindle. The Second We Met is the second book in the Fulton New like college romance series by Maya Hughes, and I read the first one like ages ago. I didn't even really remember reading the first one. If you've watched my ranking videos, you know I love a college romance, love a sports romance, and these are basically those two things put together. This one I gave 3 stars. It wasn't my absolute favourite, but it did the job. It was easy to read, entertaining. Was it like the best book I've ever read? No, but that's okay. I'll put the Pinterest shuffle here. I'm gonna have to keep moving over because otherwise I'm gonna put it on my face. I'll put it here. It was good, yeah, just college vibes. I feel like because I don't go to college, well, I go to university, but it's not the same as college in America, and I just love that whole kind of thing. I love watching YouTube videos especially from people that go to Alabama and like do Alabama cheer or Alabama sororities, that kind of stuff. Love the college vibes, I don't know why. And that is kind of what this is. It's about, they live across the road from each other. The guy's house, he's obviously the football player, kind of party vibes, and she has to like work hard. She studies, I can't remember, maybe she's on a scholarship, but she's trying to like do well in college to get a job, and she like gets really annoyed at him, and it's basically enemies to lovers. They have to come together and work together. It's kind of more enemies to friends to lovers, but yes, it was good. It gets the job done. It's a great entertaining read, and I think from what I can remember it got me out of a bit of a slump. I was kind of not reading very often. And then after that I read The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I can't even remember. I did read the physical copy, but I gave it to my grandpa to read because he wanted to read it after me. And I actually annotated this book, which I don't do very often. I've only annotated Red, White and Royal Blue, and that was to give to a friend. So to annotate a book means it's good. I know so many people have to read Great Gatsby at school, but my class was the only class in the whole grade that did not read this book. We read some other war book and it was awful, and I just wanted to read The Great Gatsby so bad because the Baz Luhrmann movie is one of my favourite movies. I love it. The vibes, everything, so good. The soundtrack, incredible. If you're a dancer, you will know the soundtrack because it gets constantly used. Yeah, if you don't know what it's about, look it up because I feel like most people will know. It's set in the 20s, kind of roaring 20s kind of vibes. And I gave it 5 stars, which I know a lot of people, when they read it at school, hate it, but I feel like that's because they read it at school. But I loved it. I really liked it. The like writing is so good. Here is the shuffle for it. Again, 20s vibes, roaring 20s, kind of like party vibes as well because Gatsby throws lots of parties, and yeah, I really liked it. After that I think I read Icebreaker after that by Hannah Grace, which is actually a new release. I again read it on my Kindle. I read it because I'd seen Ellie's Libraries, I think that's what her account's called. I think it's Ellie's Library on Instagram. I think she like did the social media for the author for like the release of the book, and I just kept seeing it everywhere. I'd only seen good things about it, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna read it. I hadn't read anything on my Kindle in a long time. I didn't have any physical TBR with me. This was before I ordered any new books, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna read it. It's a new release, get ahead of the wave. And I really liked it. She is an ice skater, he is an ice hockey player, and when they are forced to use the same rink. They're at university, use the same rink. They kind of meet and get to know each other. It's basically enemies to lovers. Through the book, they're also like forced to work together, and yeah, trigger warning kind of mentions, like, not explicitly, but kind of along the lines of eating disorders and anxiety, depression, some toxic relationships in there. I gave it 4 stars. I liked it. It is quite spicy if you are going to read it, if you don't like a bit of spice. But it was good. I liked it. Would recommend. And again, I got this one from seeing the, like, read this book if you like this aesthetic kind of thing. Here's my take on it for the shuffle. Again, very like sports romance. Again, college romance. I'm a sucker for it. We know I love it. Can't go wrong, basically. And enemies to lovers. What more could you want? Really hoping my flatmates can't hear me recording this. And then after that, actually while I was reading that, I ordered some books on Amazon because they were really cheap. They were just as much on Amazon as I would have paid to read them on my Kindle. So, like, just as much for the physical copy as I would have paid to read them on my Kindle. So I was like, I'm just going to order the physical copy, duh. So I ordered all second books to what books that I had already read. They were kind of the follow-up ones. And I ordered Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood, Hook, Line and Sinker by Tessa Bailey, and Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher, which they are the follow-ups to The Love Hypothesis, It Happened One Summer, and The Fine Print. So I ordered those and they came real quick. Oh, hang on, I'll be back. I have to call my sister because it's her last first day of school. Okay, I'm back. Sorry if the angle's different. She took her last first day picture of school without me. Anyway, where was I? I cannot remember what I was saying. Anyway, I ordered the books from Amazon. They came. Once I finished reading Icebreaker, I was like, perfect, I'm gonna start these. So I started with Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood because it was the thinnest out of the books I had, and I was meant to film this video 2 weeks ago and I was gonna try and squeeze this in, but I didn't. I'm filming it now. Love on the Brain, I gave this one 4 stars. It is about Bea and Levi, and they are kind of enemies from grad school, but they have to work together at NASA, which is pretty cool, which, here's the shuffle, you kind of get the NASA vibes, but also there's just lots of little, like, significant things in the book. If you've read the book, you'll know. Otherwise, go read the book. This is probably not my best shuffle I've ever done, but that's okay. So they have to work together at NASA, enemies to lovers, kind of grumpy ex-sunshine, at least perceived grumpy ex-sunshine. She thinks he's grumpy. 4 stars. Solid. And then lastly, I have Hook, Line and Sinker, which I'm currently reading. I've maybe got like 100 pages to go. I'm nearly done. And this one I am actually really enjoying. I think I like this one more than the first one, which is It Happened One Summer. It Happened One Summer was about Piper and Brendan, but this is about Fox, who's Brendan's best friend and colleague, and Hannah, who is Piper's sister. And Piper works, not Piper, oh my god, Hannah works for, kind of like as a production assistant for a film crew, and the filming comes to the little seaside town that Fox and Piper and Brendan live in. It's kind of like a fishing village, seaside town in Washington, and they force proximity because Hannah has to stay with Fox while they're filming there, and kind of more friends to lovers. It's really good. I've really liked this one. I think I like it more than It Happened One Summer. So if you've read It Happened One Summer and it wasn't your favourite, or you're currently reading it, I can highly recommend Hook, Line and Sinker. I think it's better. And it's by Tessa Bailey, if I didn't say that already. And that is all the books I have read, I believe. I am editing this back and realised that I didn't mention that I read The Betrayals by Bridget Collins. before any of these books, which I gave 3 stars. It was very long, very involved, kind of complicated. I believe she has another book that is meant to be better. I think it's called The Bindings, something like that. Yeah, it wasn't the best. It was a bit of a branch out from what I would normally read, but I gave it 3 stars if you did want to read it. I still have terms and conditions which I need to read, and then I have the longest TBR list. Yeah, that's all of them. I hope you like my shuffles. Here's an honourable mention. I made one for Red, White and Royal Blue, which I actually really like this one, just to like make one. And if you have Pinterest shuffles, I highly recommend doing this for the books you've read. And it also helps you remember what they're about, because if you are like me, as soon as you move on to the next book, unless you really liked what you've read, as soon as you move on to the next one, it's gone out of my brain. I think that's everything for this video, honestly. I wish I had more to show you, but hopefully I only have like 3 weeks left of uni, so hopefully once that's done I can do another reading wrap up at like the end of November, and I will have stopped uni, so hopefully I will have read a lot more and it'll be a bit longer. If you don't already follow my social medias, my Instagram is zoe.victoria, my TikTok is Zoe and Bella, it's a joint account with my best friend Bella. My Goodreads, I don't really know how you find someone on Goodreads, but the link is in my description if you did want to follow me or friend me, whatever you do on Goodreads. And you can see my TBR, I believe, and what I've read, and that way you get kind of a sneak peek of my ratings before the video comes out. That's everything for today's video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and comment and definitely subscribe, because I can see all of you that are watching these but not subscribing,